Philip had no idea what he was walking into when he climbed that frozen mountain. The cold stung his face, his fingers were numb, and the snow was deep. But the shape jutting out of the rock ahead made it all worth it. It was a planian, actual plane, wedged into the mountain and covered in snow and ice. He stood there staring, stunned. How had this wreck gone unnoticed for so many years? And more importantly, what was it hiding? A week earlier, Philip had received a mysterious letter. No return address, no signature, just one line. "You are the one. Go north." At first, he thought it was a joke, but then, out of nowhere, he was invited to a research station in a remote village. Something about the whole situation felt planned. He left everything behind: his job, his family, and flew halfway across the world. Whatever was going on, he needed to know the truth. Once in town, he began asking questions. Locals were tight-lipped, until an old man told him to meet at a place called the Old Horse. It turned out to be a small cafe. The man was already there when Philip arrived. He spoke only once. There was a plane, number 66, headed to Japan. It vanished. No storm, no trace. They say it carried something powerful. Then the man walked out, leaving Philip more confused than ever. That night, he found another note pinned to his door. "Go to the right side of town. Follow the mountain path. Find Theo. No one saw who left it." The next morning, he followed the trail and found a lonely cabin. Inside was a silent man, Theo. He never spoke, just handed Philip a final note. It had coordinates. That was all Philip needed. Now, standing before the wreck, Philip debated what to do. The fuselage was sealed shut. Snow piled all around. He didn't have the tools or the time to break in, and the temperature was dropping fast. He fired a flare into the sky. Hours later, two of his fellow researchers, Lincoln and Greg, arrived by helicopter. They were shocked by what they saw. The three of them started digging. The plane was mostly intact, its wing broken off and buried. Windows were covered with black tape. That was strange. What were they hiding? They spotted the black box lodged in the tail and pried it out. But when they opened it, it was empty. No memory card, no flight data, nothing. That's when Philip remembered the letters. Was someone guiding him to this plane, just to find what was inside? The next morning, they began drilling through one of the doors. Metal groaned and splintered as they carved a hole big enough to crawl through. Inside, they found rows of wooden crates, neatly stacked. Philip peeled off the tape covering a window and let sunlight pour in. The light bounced off something shiny on the floor, a flattened bullet. It looked like it had been crushed under serious weight. They opened the cockpit, expecting bodies. But it was empty. No pilots, no passengers, nothing. Just dust and silence. The mystery deepened. Greg ran to grab a crowbar and cracked open one of the crates. Inside were gold bars, dozens of them. Stunned, he called for the others. As they examined the treasure, Lincoln ran in shouting. A helicopter was approaching. Police. Within minutes, the plane was surrounded. Sirens screamed through the cold, and officers on snowmobiles closed in. Philip stepped out with his hands raised, holding the anonymous letters. But no one asked for them. They were taken to a nearby station and questioned for hours. Philip told them everything: the letters, the coordinates, the black box, and the gold. He hadn't stolen anything. He had followed a trail. To his surprise, the police believed him. They released the trio and even asked Philip to help with the investigation. He agreed immediately. News of the discovery spread like wildfire. A vanished flight, a missing black box, and gold crates hidden in the mountains. It was the story of the decade. Reporters swarmed. Television crews begged for interviews. Still, one piece of the puzzle remained missing: who sent the letters, and why? Philip returned home and wrote everything down. His book became a bestseller, sparking wild theories. Some believed the plane had been part of a secret government mission. Others thought it was smuggling. But one thing was certain: someone out there knew the truth. And they chose Philip for a reason. To this day, no one has found the sender of the letters. The mystery endures. And Philip still dreams about the wreckage, the bullet, and the crates of gold hidden in silence. The mountain never gave all its answers. Maybe it never will. But Philip was the one who asked the right question and dared to look.